Hey, it's Lori from Phoenix. This is 58. So I'm sitting here with this mask on my face. Come from a nice evening out. Went to a family member's 70th birthday bash celebration. Hey, and I hadn't done my mask. I've been doing this mask for 3 years straight now, and it's a mask that was recommended for me to do. Actually, it was recommended to my mom when she was getting a facial procedure, and it's from an esthetician in Mexico, and it's an all-natural mask, and basically it's raw honey, one teaspoon, and 1 teaspoon of raw honey and 1 teaspoon of raw unfiltered sugar. So you rub it together and you gently put it on your face. Some people use lemon juice to soften it a little bit. I was never taught to use any kind of liquid. And you just circularly work it into your face, of course, avoiding the under eye. And then you let it sit for about 10 minutes. And then you go to the sink and you wash it off with warm water. It's a natural exfoliant. And before I go any further, because I'm going to talk a little bit about this mask, don't forget to like and subscribe. And anything that I say or speak, or I don't know, even my facial expressions, I really don't care. But if you feel something or it resonates you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. But like I said, I've been doing this mask for 3 years now, and I do get some compliments on my complexion, my skin, etc. I do have some wrinkles, like right there between my eyes, and I've had my friend in Mexico tell me, "Oh, let me just do a little Botox there," or she wants to do my lips. Yeah, she wants funny motion. She's like, "Laura, you just your bottom lip is so full, but your upper lip, it just let me do a little bit of Botox." And I told her, "No, I'm very satisfied. I love myself." Key point right there. I love myself. And for a while there, my hashtag in life was love me some me, because I've learned to love myself. So getting back to this concept of the masks, I started thinking, this is a raw honey and a raw sugar mask. And I started thinking about the masks that we do wear, you know, these different masks of pretense. Sometimes we're faking happiness, sometimes we're faking success, and we're faking just different things in our life, so that people from the outside world, they seem to think something about us and the image that we present, and it really isn't what it is at all. And I'll admit I did the same thing. Being in a marriage for 36 years, I mean, and don't get me wrong, I loved my husband, with everything and every single part of me in me. But he wasn't doing things that he needed to do and take care of and be that godly man that I knew that he should be. And but I made it out to the world like, this was like perfection or whatnot. So I'm guilty. I promise you, I'm guilty. Just like you are. And so I started thinking about, it's time for us, a lot of us, to remove those masks that we've been wearing, remove, these images. Now, it's okay, if, like, when I was going through my divorce, people didn't know I was going through my divorce. I mean, my main person that I really shed tears to was, like my kids, my daughters specifically, and my mom, even my dad. But everybody else didn't know, because it was really important to me that I continue to inspire people, encourage people, be there for them. And, I tried my best. So those that were close to me and knew that I was going through a divorce, they were like dumbfounded. They're like, "You're always, I just would have never known, or it just doesn't seem like it. Don't you even get sad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I get sad. I absolutely." But I know that as an encourager, which I know that I am, I'm a nurturer. You know, it wasn't really in me to show a weakness, I guess you can say. And that wasn't a mask. That's just really what my heart is. And some people have it, some people don't. But my mask was that basically I always created this imagery in my social media life that, you know, my marriage was a picture of perfection, you know, and everybody knows that nobody's marriage, nobody's relationship, whether it be with a spouse, a significant other, their children, or family members, it's never perfect. We always have to work on things. We always have to, you know, remove the layers, per se, little at a time sometimes. Which brought me back to this mask that I'm wearing. So it's all natural sugar and all natural unfiltered honey, and it's a natural exfoliant. So as I go back in a few minutes into the bathroom to scrub my face, scrub my face, some of the layers of my skin are going to come off in the rinse. And sometimes it takes us with the pretenses to do some things little at a time, in layers per se. And like I said, if this resonates with you, you know, like and subscribe to my channel, share it with other people. I'm not anyone who's fancy or like sophisticated in speech. I just want to be real, because all of us have worn masks at one time or another, you know, whether it's trying to make an impression to the boss, make an impression to a person that we're interested in, make an impression to our children, to our parents. But it's time for us to take the masks off. And sometimes it's done in intricate layers, just like when I take this exfoliating mask off, you can see my face is looking like really, really like rough because I've got honey and raw sugar on it right now. I got it on my neck as well. But I'm going to come back in a minute or so and show you something that's really, really nice. And we'll talk a little bit more about the mask and its removal. And, you know, these are just things that I think about when I'm doing day-to-day stuff. So I just wanted to share. That's all. You know, it may resonate with you, it may not. If it does, you know, throw me a comment. I'm just trying to be real, because we all wear masks, you know, and we walk in deception, you know, we walk in basically lies. And so it's time for all that stuff to come off, and for us not to walk in it anymore. You hear me? You hear me? I hope you hear me. All right. So I went and I washed the mask off, and then I put a little bit of night cream on. But I mean, as you can see, I mean, usually my skin's a lot smoother. It's very soft. And my point is, when we take those masks off, we become more refined. We become a little bit smoother in basically our whole personality shifts. We become softer. You know, we're not going around with no stink face, you know, because we're no longer walking in the deception that basically we were walking in before. So very simple, but you know, sometimes things come to me, they're not genius. I mean, we're walking in masks, y'all. And I just wanted to say it's time for us to take off the masks. Isn't it funny how, like, sometimes when you're out in the streets and you might be a mess, or someone's a mess, and you see them, you don't even recognize them, because the air they present on social media, I mean, they look fantastic, they look fabulous, they look like superstar status and whatnot. And they're just, you see them in person, it's like you didn't even know that it was them. And that's probably happened with me too, you know. I mean, especially since I go to the gym a lot and I might be sweaty or whatnot. But take off the masks off, y'all. Take them off, layer by layer, and see the difference. See the difference? See the difference? Anyways, that's my little piece today. And remember to like and subscribe. Some of the things I might share with you may not be deep. This one wasn't deep, it's really basic comment, but I'm just encouraging to be yourself. Don't worry about what people will think about you. Don't worry about what people will say about you. Be yourself. And love you some you. Go to the mirror, speak some positive affirmations. Look yourself in the mirror. I mean, I know I did for years, and I still do, but I sit there and I get in the mirror and I'm like, you are beautiful. You are special. And all that kind of good stuff. But that's a different topic. That's a different content for another day. But it's important that you love yourself. And taking the masks off layer by layer is just the beginning. Have a good one. This is 58.